We continue on with Friday the 13th week here at RyHoMagnifico's RyHo Talks About Nothing. And this is another Oh the Horror segment, a horror review of Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. For some reason I just noticed that this DVD I have of it doesn't have that in the title, but I always remember it saying like the final Friday underneath here, but it doesn't have it on that one. A lot of people call this Friday the 13th Part 9. I sort of see this as the beginning of the Jason movies because this is when New Line got their grimy claws on the series from Paramount. So this is sort of it still fits into that zombie Jason sort of wave, but at the same time it starts its own because this is the sort of the Jason series starting. Just notice the quote it has on the front of it. This has the most incredible ending we've ever seen. Fangoria. What a bunch of fucking douche heads. Ugh. Anyway, like I said, this is, like I've said before in the past, this is considered a lot of people's least favorite in the series. I've said before that mine is Jason Takes Manhattan, which I still stand by. This movie's not that great in the annals of Friday the 13th. Of course, it's the weird one, which you can see on the cover, where Jason is this like body-jumping sort of creature. I guess the idea behind it is that Jason himself, although he lived this long, is sort of this other entity. There's some mysticism and stuff in the background that they try to introduce. I don't know what they were thinking when they... I think the problem behind it is that they were told, the guys that made this are like, I'm trying to think, what's his name? I know the writer was Dean Lorey, and the director, I'll just check this, Adam Marcus. These guys, they were young, they were just out of film school, and they were friends with Noel Cunningham, son of Sean Cunningham, so they sort of got a break where they were allowed to make this movie. But I think Sean said to me, I'm so sick of that friggin' mask, because his movie, the original, Jason was just this little boy. He's made a lot of money off of the masked Jason from then on, but I think he wanted to get away from that, so they sort of tried to make this weird, it's like The Hidden, a lot of people say, and it is, but it's this body-jumping horror film where Jason he gets destroyed pretty much right off the hop. It has a cool intro, though. It sort of harkens back to the old movies, but when he's destroyed, he starts, the coroner eats his heart, which makes him the new Jason, and he keeps going body-jumping as this sort of worm until everything comes together and he gets to come back as Jason. Now, for some reason, when he comes back, he's still as beat up as he was always, but, and here's a shot of Jason on the back. K&B did the effects of this one, and this is easily my least favorite Jason look. Even though I didn't like the face of Jason in Jason Takes Manhattan with the mask off. He looked fine with the mask on. He wasn't as cool as Part 7, but I didn't really care when he had the mask on. But this Jason, they sort of like wedged the mask into his head, and as a result, his head is huge. Like, again, it's sort of, it's not the same reason, but it's sort of Pumpkinhead Jason continues, because in this one he looked like a jack-o'-lantern. Maybe this would be jack-o'-lantern Jason, and this would be Pumpkinhead Jason, because his head in it is just monstrous, but he's not in the movie so a whole lot, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. Again, Kane Hodder reprised the role, even though he's only in it for a bit. What do I think of this movie? As far as a Friday the 13th film, I think it's pretty stupid in the sense that they really, I don't know why they felt the need to sort of go so far off the beaten path, but I guess at the same time, a lot of people thought it's time to do something new. It's time to do something fresh. They've tried it in all kinds of movies before, and I think they decided the thing that needed to change was, I don't know, the mythos of Jason or whatever, and they made their movie, for better or for worse. It exists. If it's not a Friday the 13th film, though, if it wasn't, I kind of think I would like it. Because this movie has some great gore effects, kind of a cool storyline with the whole thing. If you could think of it as this guy, maybe he's a serial killer, and the whole, just change it. Just if it wasn't Jason, and that you find out that he is a body jumper, and it went from there, this movie would be excellent. And I actually do like watching Jason Goes to Hell. I can say that without feeling like I'm lying to you guys. I watched this, actually, I watched it a fair bit, not as much as the other ones, but I watch it for its own sort of storyline. I like to think of it as sort of non-canon Jason fodder, like the comic books, or you know, maybe some of the novels that came out that sort of don't really fit in with the movies exactly. That's what I like to think of when I think of Jason Goes to Hell. It's sort of this other story that could have happened, that is interesting in its own right. Again, I wouldn't say that I like it in the sense that if it follows the Friday the 13th stuff, but at the same time, it's got, like I said, it has some great kills. It has that kill in the tent where the chick gets split up, and I like the actors in it. In the end, I can't say I don't like the movie. I don't watch it a whole lot. I do watch it, though, and I don't really like to think of it as canon Friday the 13th material, but it is a decent kind of movie. So I guess if you take it like that, if you think of it as a hidden clone or just its own sort of movie that doesn't really fit in with the rest of the other ones, that you can sort of sit down and enjoy this movie for what it is. Don't bother watching the R-rated version. I don't know why they even put it on here. I think it's such a waste of space on the disc, because, like, I remember when this came out, everybody wanted to see this movie. Everyone was pumped to see this movie. I didn't see it for some time after, but I remember that, and I always remember the cover and wanting to see it so badly, because the cover of the VHS was like unrated version. I was like, it can get worse. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was a version that wasn't, you know, it was like whatever they put out was tame compared to what they have on this, you know. So I wanted to see that movie so badly, and I remember, I think when I saw it, I was kind of like, really? I think I was let down by it. But if you watch it in a different frame of mind, it can be enjoyed. I'm not saying it's a really great movie, but I do like it. So yeah, I guess that's what I have to say about Jason Goes to Hell. Just watch it with a different sort of frame of mind, and I think you can get some enjoyment out of it. That being said, if you're really into the sort of core Friday the 13th story, it doesn't really fit in that well, and there's a reason why it's not enjoyed. But yeah, I guess that's my thoughts on Jason Goes to Hell, and tomorrow will be Friday, where we will talk about the sort of last in the main series of Friday the 13th films, and we'll have a little something different. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Hope you're enjoying the Friday the 13th week as it goes, and I will catch us tomorrow. Peace.